All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D campaigns set in my messed up... Actually, this particular one is set in a messed up subplane. I can't even remember the word for it anymore. Demiplane of dread. In my already messed up world, and the people you see below me, have given up making decisions for themselves because obviously they make poor ones when they decide to play games with me. So, I think it's nice to know when you just kind of realize that maybe your decision making needs to be handed over to someone else. No reaction. Okay, I'll fire that writer. Yeah. I am really out of it right now, guys. I have been kind of unwell for like half the day, so if I seem out of it, it's because I am. Quick update, because the last time we played was before the charity event I ran. Or I didn't run, I was a part of it. Zelda Universe ran it. They raised over $10,000, so it's pretty freaking awesome. Our little, it was supposed to be 3 hours due to scheduling issues. It went down to about a little under to 2 hours, and we raised like $200, little over, in our little section, which was at the very end of the stream. So yeah, I was rather pleased with it. We did some amazing, wonderful stuff. So yeah, anything cool happening with you guys? No.
No, not really.
Well, welcome to 2021. Nothing's happening. Or rather, there is things happening. We're just not going to talk about it. We get enough of that offline. Cool. Probably means we should return to the legend of the Three Kingdoms. A deal has been made and a price paid. Liliane had a friend who was in danger of being destroyed. So, Liliane called out to the Dark Lady for help and was answered. But the help came at a price, a rather steep of a price. Liliane is now intrinsically connected to the fate of the remaining 13, or the remaining to the 12 former members of the Blood Council, while the rest of the group tries to figure out exactly what to do next, now that they have a Blood Council member with them. So, remind me specifically where we left off last night. I know you guys found the room with all of the artwork, let's call it, and set things on fire, like you do.
I was actually your NPC that set things on fire, and Argenta put it all out.
Yeah.
I'm by my lonesome with the vampire lord. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's never caused issues before.
I mean, it hasn't in the past, right? I mean, it's not like this entire place is designed around a vampire lord from my past.
You forced her way into a room.
I think we were headed to dinner.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
So, all of you are taken from the personal wing. And real quick, Lane, you are on the far left of your camera frame. Is there a way that you can turn your camera or something so you're a little bit closer to center? Just because we're seeing your left ear a lot,
Oh,
and it's a really great ear, but and then just up slightly. There we go. Perfect.
How
Now
much time has passed since I dimension doored with the vampire lord to the room?
maybe 10-ish minutes, 15 to the tops.
Okay.
So, all of you, aside from Henri and Lord Merovingian, have been brought into the dining room, which has been set up with food and everything like that. And the household itself seems to be working as normal. Like, all the servants seem completely unfazed about what's happened and everything. The head of the wait staff of the manor is still acting the exact same way he was before you all were let into the room and everything happened. However, obviously, Alex has been massively changed. He seems almost a husk of his former, a shell of his former self. As he sits down at the first thing that's kind of awkward that happens is he comes in and he sits down in just the first chair available and kind of looks around, and the entire wait staff looks shocked as there is one servant that's actually gone over and pulled out the chair at the head of the table, the very almost throne-like extravagant chair that he would normally sit in. And they're all just kind of looking like he just did something wrong. And then the head of the wait staff just kind of goes and everyone turns back to neutral faces. Acts like there's nothing wrong. Sir, would you prefer that we move your chair over here, or would you prefer to remain seated where you are? And Alex kind of, yes. And he kind of stands up and brushes himself off and goes over and sits in his normal chair. What would the rest of you all like to do?
I will go and sit over to his left side.
Okay.
I will sit away.
Okay.
And the whole time I'm keeping an eye open for Rosa.
Okay. Thus far, you haven't seen any indication that she's been here. Argent and Commander, you gonna sit down or?
How big is the table?
Very, very large. There is enough space for a total of 20 people to sit at this particular long table. Though the position on the far end, there's no seat at. So theoretically, there are 19 chairs, including the big one at the far end of the table.
I'll sit about midway on the right side.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a seat, just the closest one.
Okay. So as you all sit down, you see the head of the waitstaff go. Dinner is served, my lord. And the doors behind him kind of burst open, and you see servants coming in with plates of food, and they start serving each one of you individually. They bring around sommelier comes around and asks for drink orders, effectively asking if you would like the wine paired with this particular meal, or if you would prefer something harder.
Just some wine.
Wonderful choice, sir. He goes over to the commander. And for you, sir.
Whiskey.
Wonderful choice. We have a 5-year single malt version from the lowlands of outside Meisenfort, or we have a very elegant 10-year single malt from Ilmore. Which would you prefer, sir?
I'll take the 10.
Wonderful choice, sir. Walks over to Vala. For you, madam?
I'll just have some water, please.
Of course. Walks over to Liliane. And for you, madam?
Whatever wine you would suggest to him.
Wonderful. And the usual for you, my lord? Yes, the usual. Certainly, my lord. And he wanders off. One thing you guys do notice about most of the staff here, they are remarkably old. Some of them, it's rather impressive that they move as quickly as they do, which still isn't very fast.
This is how it evolves if I recognize anyone else.
Thus far, no. Just Alex and Rosa. And at this point, you're almost starting to wonder if you'd actually seen her, with how briefly you saw her, and the fact that she hasn't even come up in conversations since.
Well, other than Alex telling me to get her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The head of the wait staff comes over. Would my lord prefer some entertainment for tonight? We have a wonderful 4-piece string quartet that has been practicing for months, that I think has become quite good. And it is said that music aids the digestion very well. No, thank you. In fact, why don't you go do something that's it's just not in here right now, okay? And tell the serving staff to bring the food and leave immediately. I will send for them if we need more. Yes. Of course, my lord. And he walks out. Right as he goes to the doors, food starts coming in. And as you guys look at it, it's kind of hard to identify what it is, just from the fact that it is very, very elaborately cooked. Think of like really high-end 3-star Michelin experimental classy cooking where they cut things up into tiny portions and it's all arranged in very bizarre manners and very sparse looking plates but lots of them, and you can tell what you're eating. This particular course seems to be maybe akin to a river scallop, maybe some sort of, mussel-like creature with a sauce. But beyond that, it does not look like anything found in nature now. Looks good, just very elegant. What would you all like to do?
I would like to cast Identify on it.
Okay. There seems to be no magical aspect to it.
That's something, I guess. I'll sniff it. I'll take a bite.
It's really good. The scallop melts like butter. It's just smooth and creamy, perfectly seared. Whatever sauce, you cannot identify what is in the sauce, but there's this slight kind of bite to the sauce. And then it's just very, very kind of fragrant and fresh to tasting. Very nice kind of opening the palate starter course. You even feel, as you swallow them, you even feel your sinuses start to open a little bit from it.
I will have like a few bites as I'm kind of like looking around to take in the place a little bit. This isn't half bad.
Is our season.
He, every so often, he will kind of, he cut the food on his plate, and it looks like he's eaten. However, a closer examination, he's moved things around.
Oh.
And he's kind of hunched over in his chair. He plays it. You see him bring stuff up to his mouth, and right before he eats it, he kind of just puts it back down. The whole atmosphere is very awkward.
I'll watch Vala for a few minutes after she takes a bite, and if she doesn't double over, I'll start eating.
As you take your first bite, again, really, really well cooked. Delicious. Everything kind of melds together. Again, with this being a starter, there's really not a lot to it. Grand total, there's only about 3 scallops on the plate, and then there are some greenery on the plate. None of you are 100% certain whether it is meant to be ornamental or if you're supposed to eat it. It could go either way.
Stick to the protein.
Yep.
As all of this is going on, Henri, you are still with your vampire lord friend, who is becoming much more composed now that he has clothing and has a tongue. That's a big deal for him. What would you like to do?
I'd kind of just be, I guess, protecting him while he's recuperating, because I have no interest in, as far as I know, I still don't eat, so.
Okay. Well, as he's sitting there, he kind of looks at you. Are you going to stare at me this entire time? Don't you have friends you should be getting back to?
I don't even know where they are. I told them to meet me here.
Oh. Well, it
They're
has
probably all
been
dead.
some time. Should we not go look for them?
If you want
I
to.
do not mean to be rude, but just seems rather pointless, the two of us being alone together when so many other things need to be done.
We can go find him if you want. I would just recommend hiding that book I gave you, just in case.
Of course. Well, these robes you've given me seem to have ample hiding places. You see him kind of find folds in there that will hold the book, as you had done many times before when you wore these robes. I believe right now is around supper time, so perhaps we should head to the dining hall.
You probably know where it is more than I do at this point.
Yes, unfortunately, I remember everything. If you would follow me. And as you open the door, you both start to kind of go through the door as he opens it, and standing directly in front of the door is the head of the waitstaff. Hello there. What are you doing? Oh, we were going to... And again, his hand...
I summon the whip and hold it up and say, don't do that again.
Oh, very sorry, sir. I just, it's not supposed to talk. I can't really allow it to. It's part of the rules of having it, so... Yes, it's just an item. That's how it's meant to be treated, is all. Was there something I could do for you?
Yeah, get the hell out of my sight.
Very sorry, sir, but I can't do that.
Oh, you are trying my patience. I used to be a patient man.
Sir, you have taken what is rightfully the Lord's. I must ask that you return his property now. Immediately.
Lead the way, but if you hit him again, I can't guarantee what I'll do.
Him who, sir?
Lead the fucking way, you ingrate.
I must ask that you clean up your rather colorful language. It is not appropriate in this place. Now, if you would be kind enough to follow me, I will bring you to my lord. And he goes over and very roughly grabs Lord Merovingian and kind of throws him forward, kicks him a little bit. We shall have to get the Lord another one. Seems this one is broken. And he turns back. Shall we, sir?
I don't say anything, because at this point, if I say anything else, it's going to involve with me attacking him, so I'm just keep my mouth shut.
So they take you through. To his credit, you notice Lord Merovingian has adopted his previous mannerisms very quickly. And you all are taken to the dining hall as the second course is being served. This one, a soup course. So as you all are sitting there and the the waitstaff comes in pairs of two. The first set comes to the right of all of you and takes your plates away, and the second one comes to your left and serves you this very nice hot cream-based soup, kind of like a bisque, you think. It has a single leaf floating in the center, and then the bisque itself is kind of a peach color, but it has some sort of sauce drizzled around the center that is white. And as the thing is served, you guys watch as Henri comes in with Lord Merovingian about to come in, and you watch as the head of the household just literally grips him by the back of the collar and throws him out again onto the floor. Sorry about that. I have found your missing companion. Feel free. Would you like me to show you to your seat, sir?
I am going out the door and getting Lord of Merovingian.
As you start to go there, he moves to... Sir, I must ask that you remain in the dining room for the time being.
Oh, my.
I get up and walk behind Henri and join him.
I must ask that you both return to
Who's in
return to your
charge here?
meals. Until my lord gives me an order, I
Who's your lord?
am in charge of the house and the staff and everything that goes on in it, including removing garbage should it need to be done. Now, if you would be so kind as to sit down and enjoy this impeccable meal.
Oh, I don't eat.
Well, then sit down and allow my lord to bask in your company.
I stand by the seat closest to the door.
I haven't been touching my food, by the way. It's
Okay.
way too much of fancy swill. So
Mhm.
I've just kind of been like spinning my wine glass, stirring the soup, kind of poked at the scallops, but not eating anything.
Did you try the wine at all?
No.
Okay. The brief fragrance you got from it was served smelled like good wine. Commander, now that Henri has gone towards a chair, has not sat down at all, what would you like to do?
I look at Merovingian and see on the ground.
see
Did he
him-
stand up?
He is kind of picked himself up, so he's kind of carrying himself on all fours, and he kind of just nods to you.
I'll go sit back where I was.
My lord, if you have any other need of me, you have but to ask. And he steps backwards out of the doors and slams them.
Did he go out the same door he pushed
Yes,
Merovingian out?
basically.
I am
the
going for the door.
Okay. As you get to the door, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna first listen to see if I hear any kind of conflict, and then I'll try the door after a little bit.
Make me a perception check.
21.
You don't hear anything. Not just like you don't hear them on the other side. You hear literally nothing on the other side of this door. It is completely and utterly silent, which isn't really possible. Bare minimum, with how large the hall is on the other side of this door, you should hear echoing footsteps or something. But it is completely and utterly silent.
Lillian, you're muted, by the way.
Yeah.
Does your friend run this place, or does that degenerate run this place?
I don't.
Because if I see him one more time, I'm going to kill him. I'm just giving you guys ample warning, and I open the door.
It's locked.
Ah, that would look so cool.
You know, I'm kind of thinking that they don't want to really do want that way.
Nope.
I'm honest.
Don't know what he's planning on doing right now, and I don't think I can sit here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I'll get up and walk over to the door too.
Yeah.
Vala will rise from the table and just say, "Huh, it isn't me this time," and follow along.
Like, you're right about that.
Alright, Argento will just walk over. Move out of the way if it's locked. Unless we have a key, and I just turn to the lord of the house.
Yeah,
You got a skeleton key there, buddy?
As you guys look over at Alex, he is slumped over even more. He's not even pawing at his soup now. He's just kind of there like this.
Is he conscious looking?
yeah, I'll go.
He seems to be conscious, but almost catatonic. He's not responding to you guys. Nothing.
All right. Let's break this door down. He's useless.
Vala, can
Yes.
I
Yes.
have a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage?
Oh, I knew
Huzzah!
it.
Hey, just be a weird demon that doesn't eat anything but acolytes, and you're fine.
All right, Vexy and Vexed. Huzzah! Oh, disadvantage.
Yes.
Well, it was nice knowing you guys. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, crap.
So, total of 4.
So, as they start getting closer to the door, you feel strange. You're not quite sure what it is, but maybe it's heartburn, maybe? So you're going, and then there's something kind of caught in your throat. It's like, you're suddenly having a hard time breathing. Your lungs just don't seem to be filling with enough air. You suddenly feel your arms and legs growing heavy as your muscles start aching a little bit from not getting any oxygen. You reach for the closest thing to you that will take some of the pressure off of your muscles, and it's one of the chairs. And as you sit down, you feel immensely better. And as you kind of straighten up at the table, you can breathe fine. There's nothing wrong with your throat. Nothing. You feel great. In fact, you're really hungry. Famished, even. And from where you're sitting, it's pretty far away from your chair. You can smell the soup. Oh, does that smell good? Smells like maybe a pumpkin bisque? You're not sure, but oh, it smells so good.
That sounds so good.
And you almost feel yourself, without really thinking, you feel yourself starting to rise. And once you're conscious, because at this point it's entirely subconscious. Once you're conscious of the fact that you're rising, what would you like to do?
So, do I realize there's something wrong?
Obviously.
Can
you stopped
I...
breathing a little bit ago, and now that you're sitting down, you're not. And you would notice that you are overly fond of this soup.
Okay,
I will,
but I'm not,
I will
I'm
ask
not...
you, did you try this soup before? Because it was served to you right as Henri came in. So did you take a taste of the soup before you?
I'm I'm thinking if it was put in front of me, I probably did try
Okay.
a bite of the soup.
So you still got some of the remnants in your mouth. You can taste it and you want it. Like your mouth is salivating to the point where you're actually starting to choke a little bit on how much you're salivating. You want this soup.
Oh, this. So my question is, do I cast Lesser Restoration on myself now or after I've had a bite of the soup? And having
Really
said
up
that,
to
I
you.
will say, Vala, you've grown so much right now. I will cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Okay. Make me a concentration check with a disadvantage.
Oh, huzzah.
I like to think I'm just watching this, shaking my head. This is why you never eat fancy food.
Yeah, but I didn't try anything.
Hey, you have scallops. You ate the scallops.
I never thought I did.
Oh wait, no, that's not a 1. That's a 7.
Oh no.
I got a total of 8.
8. Cool. As you focus on the spell. The spell. Damn, what spell did you want to cast? You know you wanted to do something. You wanted.
Oh,
God, you're really hungry.
Yeah.
You know
It's the hunger. I'm just not myself when I'm hungry.
to cast if you had something to eat. And without
I like this
thinking,
plan.
you go over and you sit down and you start eating. And you're not ravenously. You sit down very politely and you start eating like a very, like the way you kind of learned to eat, in Ilmorn, amongst the nobility. Commander,
Right.
Yeah.
I would like a Constitution saving throw made with the disadvantage, please.
I was wondering when it was my turn.
At this point, Henri is just like, oh, we don't have time for this. Just break the damn door, please.
Disadvantage is a 30-20.
30-20. Damn. As you are watching Vala act very bizarre and seemingly not caring about the door that is now magically locked, you see her go over and just start eating like nothing's going on. You find that's very strange. And then your mouth goes dry. Not just like a little dry, like bone dry, like painful dry. As in you're having a hard time swallowing because there's literally nothing in your mouth. Your throat gets scratchy. It becomes a labor to breathe. Every time you inhale, it feels like there are knives outside of your lungs that every time they expand, they just get pierced by them. Your eyes start to dry out to the point where blinking them feels like you are scraping slabs of volcanic rock across your eyes.
I'll put a descriptor. Sorry.
Yeah, that when you've been on medication that gives you chronic dry eyes, you learn how to describe it really, really well. As you're experiencing this, you try to kind of will yourself through it. And you immediately kind of brace yourself on the table. And you realize that as you kind of get there, the closer you get to the chair and the closer you get to sitting down, the better you feel. And you feel kind of the compulsion to go back to your chair and eat, but it's not kind of the ingrained subconscious automatically doing it. You know that's what your brain is telling you to do, but you feel no compulsion to do it. What would you like to do?
I will, as dryly as dry, but I mean as much as I can say it to the group, it's a food cursed.
Okay. Make me Make me an intelligence check.
Just straight.
Just straight up intelligence.
Oh, I'll take that nat 19 for
19, yeah.
intelligence 23.
Okay. You have to fight with your body to get the sound out because again, inhaling is painful. Your vocal cords are so dry, you're almost terrified that using them will cause them to snap. But you kind of choke out these words in between, coughs. And you guys barely make out the words food cursed. Now, currently, physically, you are bracing yourself on a table, kind of one, half a cheek hovering above a chair, but you're not currently sitting at all. What physically would you like to do?
I have no spells for that, so I won't be able to do anything. I guess I'm assuming I have my water skin on me. I would
You
just
would
start
have
drinking.
everything you normally
I would
do.
start drinking water.
Okay. As the first bits of water touch your palate, your instinct is to spit it out. It tastes simultaneously putrid, like you're drinking something that is spoiled, while at the same time it burns like fire, like you have an open sore in your mouth and you've just taken, a swig of something acidic. Because you made your save, you don't spit it out automatically, but that is what your body is currently telling you. What would you like to do?
Try and fight and swallow it.
Okay. You're able to kind of swallow it, and as soon as it hits your stomach, you wish you didn't.
Great.
If you've ever eaten something that immediately you regretted, that feeling of your stomach starts to kind of gurgle and rumble. You feel in the back of your throat something start to lift up. Your soft palate starts to raise a little bit as you gag just a bit. You guys watch as his complexion literally sours as he turns slightly green and pale. You see a flop sweat break out on the commander. What would
Look
the
back
rest
at them
of
with
you
that.
guys like to do? Go
I
ahead.
think we have a butler to kill. I'm gonna rage and I'm just going to literally kick the doors.
Okay. As you kick the door, choose even or odd.
Odd.
Cool. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you effectively kick a mountain. The door does not budge, does not even seem like it could budge. You have kicked many doors before. They are built to have some sort of a give, but this literally felt like you were kicking something completely solid.
Seeing that, I'll just be like, we don't have time for this, and I will cast Dispel Magic on the door.
Okay.
It's
Make
at 5th level.
make a spell attack.
What is my modifier? 21.
21. Cool. As you sit there and you focus the spell itself, it doesn't seem to be working. And as you focus more on it, this is an incredibly complex spell. Your Dispel Magic did work in the fact that it has dispelled part of the spell. But this is such a complex spell that a single cast of any spell will not completely destroy it. And as you sit there focusing on what you did, you realize you are literally battling the house. the manor house itself is enchanted. And by attempting to dispel the magic on this door, you have literally just attempted to dispel an entire mansion. I would like everyone to roll for initiative for me.
A house. Oh no.
Where was that roll earlier?
It's a good roll. It was
This one would have made it a 30. Not. This is a nat 20 on my initiative. Gotta move that. That flashing is annoying because it goes on forever.
I forgot you have that die.
I like it, and it starts flashing, and then it's like, oh, hey, I'm still flashing. A minute later, I'm still flashing. Why are you still flashing?
Because you got a
Hey,
nat
did you know?
20.
Hey, you know? Guess what? You got a 20. You know that? Hey.
There was a dorkly bit forever ago making fun of Fi from Skyward Sword, where everywhere Link would go is go, hey, did you know that you can use sword for slashing? Did you know? And then you got the beep beep. You have 1 heart left. You have 1 heart left. Did you know? You have 1 heart left.
Oh, no.
Did you hear the
Good God.
beeping? I am telling you that the beeping is happening because you have 1 heart left.
I'm telling you.
Argento, what do you got for me?
11.
Laban. Vavala.
22.
22. Liliane.
20.
What was it?
20.
20.
0.
20. Okay. I thought I heard 20 and then I was expecting 20 something. And so I thought you were cutting off at the end. So I was like, what? I didn't hear the other half. Henri.
23.
23. Good. Commander.
I rolled low. 17.
17. It's nice when 17 is a low roll. So to let you guys in on what is going on here, this is not combat. This is what is something I have taken from 4th edition called a skills challenge. Where
Nice knowing you guys.
yeah, the situation that you are in, you will need to get a certain number of successes before you get a certain number of failures in order to win the challenge as a whole. The initiative is just to give me an order that I can ask you who's doing what in the next. As he dispels this thing, you notice that the room that you're in changes. The walls themselves start creaking and moving, and you see a red, thick liquid start dripping from them. The floor itself swells and starts to kind of undulate underneath it. At the same time, it becomes this kind of soft, sticky consistency. And the door, the walls around the door shrink and make it so that, the walls around the doors grow so that the actual parts of the door you can see shrink down to about a square inch that you can actually see of the door, whereas the rest of the walls have just swollen around it and are leaking this red, viscous liquid. And this isn't good music for that.
I just want to point out the last time we had a skills challenge, I ended up on another plane for 6 months.
It'll be fun. Whose turn is it?
Me, I go to a different plane this time. Fire!
Sorry, I thought I had a really good thing, and maybe I don't for this.
You instantly evaporate.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just to set the mood. All right. That may be slightly too loud. There we go. The track's called Existential Dread. I thought it fit. All right. So starting with Henri. You can see the commander looks to be getting worse. Vala seems to be blissfully unaware of the dangers happening here, as she is just very elegantly eating her soup, which she seems to be enjoying. And the red liquid dripping from the walls has started to pool at the edges of all the walls. You can smell that kind of sickly sweet smell of something rotten near you.
I can see it just like a slow drizzling waterfall just coming down.
Kind of. It's I wouldn't call it a waterfall in any way. It is just little droplets of stuff that just keep coming, and to be honest, it's pooling faster than it really should be, from what you're seeing of it dripping from the walls. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it's going to do, but I've never used it, so I'll use it now. I'm going to use my Mystic Arcanum for the first time ever.
Cool.
And cast Investiture of Ice, which you guys watch as just this faint layer of seawater just envelops me and surrounds me and shoots out to like a 10-foot radius around me. There's this foam. And I am going... Well, that's an action, so I can't do anything with it yet. But I'm going to stand close to the door while this is going on. And then my next turns, I'm just going to start blasting ice everywhere.
Okay. So, describe to me exactly how the investiture of water is manifesting. Is it actual, like, sleet, kind of, that forms into ice on you? Is it more seawater and sea spray? Like, what exactly are you envisioning?
I'm picturing like waters near Antarctica where it just looks like normal water, but if you were to touch it, it'd be ice cold.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So you guys see Henri gets wet, and
10-foot radius around me is difficult terrain for anyone but me. Just FYI.
So you can see that the water that is now kind of coming out of Henri is interacting with the liquid that is already there, and they don't seem to be interacting well. It's starting to kind of bubble and boil, and I'll have you make a dex save for me.
Yep, had to roll low sooner or later. 9.
9. Cool. Wow, that was an impressive roll. You take 6 points of damage after I rolled 3 1s.
What kind of damage?
Acid.
Okay, because I'm immune to cold now. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, this is not cold. Yeah, you take 6 points of acid damage as the interaction of the ice cold seawater and this whatever this liquid is seem to have formed some sort of acid, and it burns you. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, no, I will, because I know Lillian's very weak right now. I will use. Is Lillian within 15 feet of me?
Lillian, did you get up from your seat before all this happened?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, Lillian would be close to 100 feet away.
Okay, it's an
Like
action, so
it's
I
a
have to
real
wait.
big. Okay.
Yeah,
I will
that's my
say,
turn.
Argenta, you are now being pelted with cold water since you are right next to Henri. Thus far, it hasn't done any damage, but it's uncomfortable, to say the least.
All right.
Vala, this soup is amazing. However,
I'm-
as you're sitting there, you feel. What? You kind of wipe your. Is this raspberry cordial? Maybe? Or you feel a compulsion to taste it.
I mean, I've already tasted other things today, so
Okay.
yeah, I'll taste it.
All right. As you taste it, it tastes sweet. Very sweet.
Hmm. Not coppery at all?
Say what?
Not coppery?
It's a very sweet copper.
Hmm.
It has
That's
almost fruity flavor to it. And as you do that, you feel more of it kind of dripping on you, and you can't help but just continue kind of lap this up. You see it on the table. You first, being the proper lady you are, you try to just... But it's really, really good. And so you start kind of licking it off the table. You take 13 psychic damage
Hmm.
as you feel yourself becoming less and less able to control your actions. Because you did that, that is your action for this turn. So, is there anything else you'd like to do? And currently your speed is 0. You're effectively grappled by your chair.
You know, this food, I think Alec was wrong. I think what this dinner needs is some music.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull out my flute of the piercing flame, and I'm going to play the Bolero of Rebirthed Embers.
Okay. I don't believe you've used that before yet, have you?
I don't believe I have.
Why don't you read what it does? Seeing as I can't actually remember all it does.
So this song embodies the renewing nature of fire, where materials are replaced and new life may grow where old life was consumed. As a bonus action, choose one creature who has the ability to cast spells. In this case, it will be Henri.
Okay.
Which can include the bard wielding the Songblade. The damage done by their next spell cast before the start of your next turn is turned into either fire or radiant damage, and is increased by 2 of your bardic inspiration dice. If the spell causes ongoing damage, only the first damage roll is changed and increased.
So as Vala takes out her dagger and starts playing this melody, as she is between, every time she takes a breath, it's Henri, you feel a heat, like a flame kind of lit inside your chest. You feel it radiate through your body, into your fingertips, through your eyes, through your toes. You feel kind of empowered. And we'll deal with that. Go ahead.
I just have a question. Since I already cast Investiture of Ice, it says each additional on the following turns I can do an action, do like a mini cone of cold. Would that amplify that, or a new spell I cast?
I'll say it will amplify the since technically this is a concentration spell, and you haven't done a damaging attack with it. We will treat the first time you roll a damage roll with it as getting this additional bonus, and the damage type is changed to either fire or radiant.
All right.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
Cool. Anything else you wanted to do, Vala?
I'm gonna have some more soup.
Okay.
Try to mix the
Great.
drippings in with the soup. Is there a role that I can just like sop up some of this stuff?
Sopping up soup with a roll is not generally done in polite society.
That's true.
So they would not have served rolls with this as a soup. Liliane, you're up next.
I'm assuming, I'm assuming I was still all of that, right?
Yeah, he's still catatonic. However, he doesn't seem to be affected like Vala or Commander either. Like they're obviously not entirely in their own control. He's become an object more than a person right now.
I will. I will. Can I? Somebody, I can find a key or anything.
Sure. For the door.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. So specifically, what you're looking for is some sort of key that would unlock the door, correct?
Yeah.
And are you specifically looking for the door that effectively has been swollen shut, or because there's another door that the servants were coming through as well? So which did you have a preference as to which door you were?
The door everybody was trying to
Okay.
can't open them.
Sure. Go ahead and make your investigation check then.
That would be a 16.
Okay. Getting up and starting to look around, because the ground itself has changed and the walls are now dripping something and doing lots of things that they really shouldn't be. You're having a hard time finding much of anything. If there was some sort of key in the room, your best guess would be the only place it could be now is in one of these puddles of liquid near the edges of the room that continue to get bigger and bigger. So with that knowledge, what would you like to do?
So I heard Commander say that if the workers I can see Vala eating the soup.
And the table at this point. She keeps licking up stuff that's dripping from the ceiling off the table. She's now starting to move her bowl around to try and catch some of the drops in there.
I mean, as a player, I know that probably won't work, but I don't know if Mary ever knows it.
Okay.
I will cast be a hole followed by Vala.
Vala was seated right next to Alex, and you were literally opposite her. So she's about the table itself is about 5 feet ish, or 10 feet ish wide. It's a real big table. So she's like 10 feet in front of you.
I will try to protect it from evil and good on Vala.
Ooh. Take inspiration, because that's a cool thing. You did not eat the food, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you
I was not even I found.
Okay. Um, you cast a spell without any issue, and it affects Vala the way it's supposed to. She doesn't seem to be altering her mannerisms at all. But you definitely know that for the time being, she's protected from both evil and good.
Yeah.
Vala, as the spell takes effect, you feel this kind of tingling in your skin. You've had spells cast on you before. You recognize the feeling of magic. And as it does, the raspberry cordial doesn't taste as sweet anymore. It's got this kind of tinny copper taste to it. It tastes rancid. And the soup itself tastes bitter, extremely bitter. The most bitter thing you've ever tasted in your life. But you can't stop eating it. It is now wholly unpleasant for you. But you cannot stop yourself from continuing to ingest, which you now are fairly certain is blood dripping from the ceiling. And whatever this bitter, switch cartridge soup.
Oh.
Lillian, you watch as she goes from grinning and almost ravenous in this to disgusted and horrified, and you can see like a tear coming out of her eye because she hasn't physically stopped anything, but her expression changed drastically. With that, Commander, you feel sick. Like super sick.
Would I feel too sick to move?
No. Currently, any movement away from the chair is difficult terrain. Any movement toward the chair, super easy.
The one specific chair or any chair?
Any chair.
Cool. And I wouldn't have any idea as to what.
Or rather, technically the closest chair to you at that particular point. So if you were to try to switch a chair, getting out of one chair would be difficult. Getting into the next would be easy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't have any idea as to what Lillian just casted on Vala, would I?
You, because you are at the opposite end of the table, you are far enough away that you probably didn't even notice the casting. Okay. You are really focused inward right now, specifically on what's happening down south.
Oh no, come on. Sorry. Then I would attempt to get to Vala, whether that be shortest route would be climbing on the table and doing it that way, or
going onto the table is still going to be difficult terrain because it takes you away from a chair. Anything that takes your butt out of a seat is going to be difficult. Anything that leads you closer to sitting down is going to be easy.
Okay, so how close could I get to her?
To Vala?
Yes.
She's on the opposite side of the table, which is about 100 feet away. If you want to kind of butt scoot your way through the chairs, you could probably make it, let's say 20. You have a speed of 30? Right? Your normal speed is the 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind that, because that's...
Yeah. It is a huge dining hall. Like, awkwardly huge. Okay. Like requiring messengers to find out what they're talking about at the other end of the table.
Well, that changed everything. Okay.
If you wanted to dash, you could
Then-
double that to 40.
Could I climb over the table towards a chair on the opposite side of me?
Yeah, that would take 15 feet of your movement to do.
Okay.
And it would
Then
be a
I will,
lateral move as far as towards Vala. Your distance to Vala wouldn't change going to the other side of the table.
No, but it would get me on the same side.
Correct.
Then I would do that, and then I would use my action to dash and get close to her as close as I can.
So let's say you were 100 feet away on the opposite side. You are now 75 feet away on this the same side. Sound good?
Yep.
Cool. That brings us to Argenta. You're cold and you're wet.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm focused on with the pain in my leg keeping my rage going from taking damage last turn.
Yeah. You want to try breaking it with your face this time?
No, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to see these fucking chairs. And I'm just like, fucking furniture. And I'm basically going to, like, barroom break all of the chairs, try and kick the table over, basically see if I can break whatever's with Vala, if I break any furniture that she can sit in.
Okay. I will tell you the chairs themselves are very well made, but they're made of wood. The table is stone. It's marble.
Okay, so that would be more try
You're
and
a
overturn.
barbarian, so
Yeah.
if you want to take on a marble to the table, I would not say it would be outside the realm of reason. I'm just giving you all the information you would have.
I'm still going to attempt it.
Okay, what do you want to go for first?
The chairs, because I keep seeing Commander like wanting to sit when he's moving.
Okay. The closest chair to you, where you currently are, is... oh, no, because Commander's gone further. Yeah. If you want to try and destroy a chair, you can. I'm just going to need an intelligence saving throw.
Oh boy.
An intelligence saving throw.
13.
13. Yeah, as you get to that chair, as you pick it up, or you're about to pick it up, this is a really nice chair. Like, probably the nicest chair you've ever seen. And as you think a little bit more in your rage-addled brain, you're like, you know what? There are better things here that would just be better for me to break than this chair. You cannot break that chair this turn.
Alright, then I'll just put it down. Walk my way over to the head of the table. And I'm just gonna punch the fucker in the face. That's not doing anything.
Oh, that's 100 feet away.
Oh, okay.
You're at the opposite side of the table where Alex's is, so if you want to go over there, you can try. It's effectively difficult terrain everywhere, because you get difficult terrain from the water first, and then difficult terrain because you're walking on a tongue.
It would take me forever to get to him, so never mind.
I think it's pretty impressive I was able to split the party in this same room.
How far is Vala from the first chair?
She's right next to it.
Oh.
Vala's on the opposite end where you are. Vala, Lilian, and Alex were all at the head of the table, on the opposite side of the room from the door, and those of you that went to go examine the door literally went to the opposite side of the room. So you guys are literally 3 one side, 3 on the other. So you want to beat up the table them, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I guess I'll try and push over the table.
Okay, the
good at
table
it.
is attached to the floor.
Okay, then I'll try and just attack it then, if it's
Okay.
attached.
I mean, you could try and lift it and break it off. I'm just saying it would be impressive, even for
All
a
right.
barbarian, to do that. So
I'll
if you want to
try
try it,
and
you can do it.
I'll try it.
All right,
Why
make me
not?
an athletics check then. I think you get advantage on those from raging.
Yep. What is my athletics now? 29.
29. As you sit there and you try and lift this to the table, it doesn't budge. You're sitting there and you're trying. You feel your muscles just like starting to give. You feel the tiniest little crack in the table before you feel a sharp pain in your leg and you have to stop and kind of work out a Charlie horse for just a second. That was your action. Anything else you want to do?
I don't know. No, I'm
Okay.
good.
We return to Henri.
I am going to move back enough to where I still hit the door with my 15-foot cone, but just to maximize the area I hit with it.
Sure.
And I'm just going to unleash a torrent of what I expect to be ice, but is now fire.
What is your armor class?
18. Well, I guess if I don't have my shield out, it'd be 16 because I didn't specify.
Oh, it doesn't
so.
matter. I rolled an 8 for my high roll. As you move away, the swollen walls around the door reach out and almost try to bite you. And you kind of jump back as they get a small bit of your cloak and literally rip it off. You come out unscathed other than that.
Alrighty. I will use my action to unleash a torrent of cold fire. It is numbers 10, 18, 28, 34 fire damage. I think it makes all of it fire.
Yeah, it changes the damage type to fire.
Okay.
Is it a save, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's a con save.
Oh, cool. This can actually make con saves.
DC 18.
It fails. As you sit there shooting this thing, you watch as... How much damage did you do?
34 fire.
Okay. As you do that, you can see part of the swollen, I guess, mouth is the best thing to call it here, starts to kind of move away from the door, and you can now see about a foot square of the door you were attempting to dispel before. And the room seems upset.
Don't want to summon my water duplicate, but yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to do anything else for now. I'll just keep doing that with my turns.
Vala, you are in agony now. You hate this, but you can't stop. What do you want it to do?
I mean, can I try casting greater or lesser restoration on myself again?
You can always try.
Huzzah.
I would just need a concentration check before you cast a spell.
So since I failed the concentration check last time, I didn't use the spell slot, correct?
Correct. You didn't cast the spell.
Okay. Yeah.
The concentration check is literally to see if you can concentrate enough to cast it.
Is a 10 high enough? No.
sorry. As you sit there concentrating on the lesser heal, you feel magic start to run out of your fingers, and it goes into the soup. And can you cast Prestidigitation?
I can cast Prestidigitation. I was gonna say, can I add
You
some kind of
prestidigitized
flavoring to try to make
to
it taste?
try and flavor it better, and it tastes even worse. It now tastes. Have you ever had buttermilk? Just drank buttermilk straight? That
Nah.
really sour, tangy. It is now a buttermilk bisque
Oh,
with rancid milk dripping into it and blood. So you may want to consider going into the culinary arts. Give up this whole adventuring thing, because you have created a concoction, let me to tell you.
okay then. Okay, that's awesome. I think that's going to be my turn then.
Do you have anything you want to do with your bonus action?
I will. There's no one within 60 feet of me. Lillian is.
This is within
I will.
60 feet.
I will inspire Lillian.
Okay. Lillian, you're next. You feel very inspired as you watch her prestidigitize her soup and blood.
I just smile at you with bloody teeth.
It's dripping from her mouth. You just kind of go blah, blah, blah.
I'll Ed Norton in Fight Club.
If you've ever had to eat a meal near an unhappy child who is also very hungry, like that whole and not everything's getting in, and
well, when I know pretty far away. Would I see the house try to attack me?
it's kind of hard to miss when a room tries to bite one of your friends, even from 100 feet away. Like the whole wall tried to bite him.
Alright. So, first move. I will try to protect immunity with this time of hour at my action.
Sorry, what were you casting?
Protect immunity with my hour this time.
Is protection from... I'm not hearing the spell is what it is.
Protect immunity.
Oh, the same spell you're doing it on Alex. Now that's is that a concentration spell or no?
Oh, yeah.
So doing that would end it on
Yeah. Alright, so I won't do that. How far away from the nearest wall am I?
The closest wall would be the wall with the door to the kitchen, and that's about 25 feet, sorry, to your right.
I will get up and try to get maybe and go over to it when I go over to it, I will draw my swords and activate my the radiant.
Okay.
So 5. And I will get the and when I go over the wall,
Mm-hmm.
does it feel like wow or does it feel like fresh or
It feels alive.
like
Being a blood hunter and hunting, you know, beasts and like you specialize in hunting the undead, the dead, but all blood hunters have dealt with other kind of beasties like
yeah.
werewolves and other things like that. This wall seems alive, like it is a massive creature.
Uh,
And with the blood dripping and everything, it's hitting all your blood hunters'
yeah.
senses.
I mean, can I be able to know around me? Could I classify it as a aberration or
Uh, closest would be more of a monstrosity, not an aberration.
uh,
Well, remind me,
uh,
an aberration as far as the monster type. I'm actually going to look up the monster.
Faith, feeder, and that I
Oh,
know. I don't know where I got aberration
oh.
from.
Well, it seems it's definitely not an yeah. Aberrations are from the abyss. So this would not be an aberration. It seems very undead to you. We could classify it as partially undead dead.
So can I do hit me second to see can maybe know anything
I mean,
about
yeah,
it?
you can make the check. Depending on how high you roll, you may not be happy with what you learn, but
Yeah. So let's see. So if it is dead, I have advantage.
we'll give you advantage on this.
Uh,
You'll need it.
23 with advantage.
Okay. As you look this over and try and figure out exactly what it is, the whole blood dripping from it definitely has an undead feel to it. As you are kind of looking it over, you get the idea that this is some sort of massive. The closest thing in your mind you could come up to describe this would be some sort of undead mimic that is the size of a house. That's the closest you could come up with. But there are aspects of this that are very much unmimic-like. This is its own unique being, but that's as close as you can come as far as describing what it is. It definitely has undead aspects to it, to the point where there's enough of an undead feel to it that you feel comfortable being able to fight it. But it's also the size of a mansion. So, However you want to deal with it, that.
So I'm assuming my sword probably growing
Oh yeah.
and yeah.
It is full on Sting, Glamdring, or Christ.
Um,
You have a lightsaber. Fun fact, the reason Orchrist didn't glow in the Hobbit films was because they couldn't stop it from looking like a lightsaber because they were always fighting orcs. So they're like, nah, we'll just leave that to Sting. Same reason why Glamdring didn't glow. Even though in the books, all of them made blades glow. Anyway, so yeah, you're glowing pretty heavy, and it glows from the floor, and it glows from the ceiling. The chairs don't seem to set off your. And remarkably enough, the table doesn't seem to set off your sword either, though it's connected to the floor.
I'm just gonna try and stab him for.
Make me an attack roll.
What is it? That would be 21.
Definitely hits. Go and roll to the damage.
Oh. 23.
Okay. So can you split the regular damage and the radiant for me? So how much is non-radiant?
Oh, 15 regular. 8 radiant.
It seems to really not like the radiant damage. I will say that's worth 1 success. By the way, thus far in this challenge, you guys have gotten 3 successes. 1 from Henri's initial check, 1 from Henri blasting things, and then 1 from this right now. As you strike it and it reacts violently, it spews this acid on you, and you take 15 points of acid damage. Do you want to do your other attack, or?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. That would be that one.
All right. As you try to swing at it again, it gets stuck in the wall itself. You get another 16 points of acid damage as the wound you created before spews more acid on you. And the entire room starts vibrating. Everyone inside, you feel this dread over to take you. You have gotten 1 failure. Next up is going to be Commander. You here, Commander?
Yep.
Cool. The room has just shuddered and made you feel really bad, which is impressive because you already feel really bad.
Yeah. How far am I away from Vala?
75 feet away right now. Let's say if you want to dash, you could make it another 50 feet.
All right. And is there any wall I mean, I guess there's tons of wall, but is there any like is the entire room covered in flesh wall?
Yeah, the walls themselves are more sinewy than flesh-like. The floor is very flesh-like. It's like a tongue.
Ugh.
And now, going out about 5 feet around the walls are these pools of blood.
Just for fun. That's kind of I'm gonna okay, actually question, would I have the ability to use my gun, or am I too like weak and like weak feeling to use it?
You could pull it out and attempt to use it. Because of how horrible you feel, you think aiming it would be a difficult process for you, but possible, just difficult.
All right. Let's see. And I'm going to can you hear me? Okay. I feel like
Yeah,
my internet's
you're getting
going
a
out.
little robotic, but I can still understand.
I will try to use the I've never used it before, but I want to try and use I think the shocker feature from the bag of bullets.
Okay. Cool. So that requires you to reload.
And yep.
So as a bonus action, you can. Are you just going to load the one shocker round, or did you want to load multiple rounds in?
See, I can only use 4 a day. Right? Is that how you wrote this?
I believe I'd have to look at the item. But yeah, let's go with that for right now.
It has 4 charges that can be used to imbue a piece of ammo. Okay. So I'm going to load, just for the fun of it, 1 shocker and 1 hot shot.
Okay, cool.
And they're just a regular.
You kind of, again, with how horrible you're feeling, you kind of put Fury on the table and you open up the chamber. You reach in and a bunch of bullets spill out onto the table. You guys can all kind of see just these bullets spill out on the table, and a couple of them look very, very different. One seems to be glowing this kind of white blue glow and has these little bolts of lightning around it, and another one has this kind of dull red glow with little bits of flame escaping from it. And he picks those up, jams those into the gun along with a couple other shots, closes it, and brings the gun up to aim on a hand that is shaking pretty bad.
And so I will just, especially with the hot shot, because it's a radius. I don't want to be anywhere near anybody, so I'm just going to shoot at an empty wall.
Let's go for it. It'll just be disadvantage on the attack rolls all.
Okay, so I was asking. All right.
Yep.
Oh, because I have it marked with the blessing of the force, so it's a 16.
16 hits.
Okay.
And roll all the damage. Okay. I believe it's a dex save against hotshot, and walls don't dodge very well.
Yeah, it is a dex save.
It auto fulfills.
Oh, it's a D6 fired. Okay. D6, not 8, 10. That's what I'm looking for. And that's all. This is new. Sorry.
For everybody, okay.
Yeah.
This I believe this is the third new ability used in this fight alone.
Oh wow. Okay, that was good. So that is 15 for the shot, and then 5 for the fire.
Okay, so grand total it to the 20 so far.
Yes, and I believe it's where the bullet explodes causes it to catch fire.
Okay, and how large a radius does that have? Again, I don't have the item in front of me.
Yeah.
So for the hot shot, do creatures within a certain distance have to make a save, or is it just a single target? You know what? I have D&D Beyond open.
No, there's no radius. There's a
Okay.
radius for bright light it gives off for 10 feet, and someone within 5 feet can take an action to put the fire out. But I'm pretty sure no one's going to do that. So that's that for the fire.
Oh, hot shot's a con save, which the wall can make.
Oh,
Sorry, I just looked up the thing. So,
yeah.
but it failed it.
Okay.
Okay, no, I see how this works. So basically, at the start of each of its turns, it takes a d6 of fire.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it doesn't take the fire damage until the start of its next turn, because it says at the start of each of their turns.
Sorry.
That's perfectly fine.
So take 5 away.
So it's perfectly fine. So you guys watch as Commander just kind of aims it shakily, fires it. As you see the bullet goes, it impacts, and then you watch as the bullet itself explodes and the wall catches on fire. The room itself kind of shrieks and wails. Do you want to attack again?
Yes, I would like to aim a little off center from that shot, so I don't take multiple effects at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do the shocker, which sounds so wrong to say out loud, but okay. Disadvantage again.
Go for it.
Wow. With disadvantage, natural 18, so 29.
So it hits again.
On this one, make a dex save. Oh no, strength save.
Walls can make strength saves. What's the DC? 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your dex mod.
So 18.
18. It does not make the save.
So the target is paralyzed. I don't know if this house can be paralyzed.
I don't know how you paralyze a house, but
Me neither.
we'll go with it. Go ahead and roll your damage, because the damage is what's really going to.
That is plus 6 is 14.
All right.
No, sorry, 15.
15. Cool. Do you have another attack this round, or no?
I have 2 more. No, 1 more. Sorry, you're right. 1 more.
Okay.
I'm just taking a normal shot.
Gonna go ahead and roll your last one.
I like these dice. Okay. One was a nat 20, and the other one's a nat 19. I found Vala's
Still
dice.
hits, yeah, but apparently. Go ahead and roll your did damage for the last one. So you guys watch. I will narrate as you do math. You guys watch. The first shot goes up, and you watch the bullet itself explodes in fire. You see him turn the barrel as he fires another one. The bolt goes in, and you watch as lightning bolts kind of arc along the wall, and you watch as the walls themselves shudder and shift from this.
15.
15. And the final bullet goes in between them, and you see this huge kind of outpouring of acid and bile shoot from the wall, which you're far enough away that it doesn't hit you. And you now have a 4th success. The room itself is writhing and screaming at you all. Yeah. How about we go to Argenta?
Okay, the rage kind of subsiding at this point.
Well,
She just,
you made an athletics check that keeps rage going, doesn't it?
it has to be, I have to either attack or get hurt.
Okay.
So I will just calming down, look at the end of the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to planar, what is it called? The cloak thing that lets me teleport 60 feet. I'm going to prime transition
Okay.
60 feet towards the other end of the table where, the head of the house is sitting. But I'm going to go onto the table. I'm going to calmly walk 40 feet to the other end, hop off with the last 5 feet, and then
Okay.
punch him in the face while screaming at him to take control of his fucking house.
Roll a d20 for me.
Sure. 18.
Oh no. That doesn't happen. As you hit him, he fails to death saves from the attack. As you punch him, there's almost no resistance as you hit him. As you hit him, you feel his jaw break from it, and you watch as his body just falls to the ground as a pile of bones and skin almost. He still seems to be breathing, but he literally is not resisting anything. Anything else you'd like to do? You still have an to attack.
Yeah, I guess I'll just punch the wall.
Go for it. Did you want to punch the wall, or did you want to hit it with a weapon?
Yeah, I'll pull my dagger for this one.
Go for it.
23.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
I'll mark it as my enemy, because why not? And then I can see it pulled, so... 8, 15, 13, 3, 16 points of damage.
Alright, you take 10 points of acid damage as you plunge it in. This bile and acid shoots out of it and burns your arm. The house takes the damage, but you feel this intense dread in your body, as does everyone else. You have all gotten a second failure.
Can you stop timing things with the music, please?
Sorry. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No, that's it.
Okay. That brings us back up to Henri. So as of right now, you guys have a total of... Is it 4 successes that I've said, or is it 5? Someone just keeping track.
We had 3 before Commander's turn.
Okay.
4.
Commander had 4 for minutes. So you guys have 4 successes, 2 failures.
I will, since I got it up for 10 minutes, I will blast the wall again with cold damage this time, because
Go
it's
for
not
it.
changed. Con save.
He fails.
God, why can't I be rolling stats with these? That's 20 cold damage.
It shudders and writhes against the damage. Is that your turn, or do you have anything else you wanted to do?
Is there anyone within 15 feet of me right now?
No, they all kind of ditched.
All right,
Argenta
well,
went to go beat up somebody, and Commander is butt scooting his way around while he shoots the walls.
I will just bonus action summon my water clone and have him attack the wall since no one's close enough to want my new ability.
All right. Good. Go for it.
He rolled a nat 20, but that won't do much.
It still did a double some kind of did a damage.
Extra dice was a 1, so it's what is this? 5, so 10 cold damage.
So a grand total of 30 damage.
I will point out I have the feat where my cold damage ignores resistance from my initial hit, not my clones, if that matters.
It doesn't, but good to know.
That's my turn. I'm just going to be wailing away trying to get this door open because I'm just only focused on that.
With 30 points of damage, you get another success. Barely. Vala.
Yes. So, with me seeing everyone else attacking the room,
To be perfectly honest, you hear other people attacking in the room screaming. The only thing you're seeing right now is the bowl of disgust that you are eating.
okay.
So you can hear other people, but your vision is all on this slop.
So I guess my question is like, what are my options? Can I make an attack against the room, or
if you'd
do
like
I need
to? Any attack you make will technically be attacking blind, so it'll be made with disadvantage.
Well,
But it's a wall.
Right.
You know where the walls are.
But I don't know where my friends are.
There is that.
I will just be like, screw this, and I will pull out my flute. I will play that bolero again.
Okay.
This time selecting myself
Okay.
and setting it to radiant.
Okay.
Then I'm going to cast fireball at the ceiling.
Okay. I will say directly above you, you will be caught in the blast. But if you point it somewhere else, you can get it to where you won't hit anybody. So
Well, because I'm shooting blindly.
Yeah, but you know, you've been in this room before. You know that the ceiling is not 20 feet high. And fireball is a 20-foot radius. So you would know, bare minimum, if you're going to shoot a fireball, shoot it in the corner.
Okay, I will shoot slightly away from myself.
Makes sense.
Good. Even though I do kind of want to just take the damage.
If you want to take the damage, you can. I'm telling you, if you shoot directly above you, you know you will take it. So.
No, because this is going to be a lot, and I'm only resistant.
Okay. See what you do.
So, the house has to make a dexterity saving throw.
The house is paralyzed. Paralyzed creatures auto-fail dex saves.
Okay. Damn it, that's a lot of ones. I did roll 3 6s.
Well, that's a failure in itself.
Okay. That's 10, 20. 32. 42 points of radiant damage.
As you fire off this bolt of radiant energy, it explodes. The explosion is so bright, you stop eating to look at it. And instantly have to close your eyes because of how bright it is. The room itself literally writhes to the point where the table moves and shifts. Tipping Argenta's not on the table anymore. Throwing all of the dishes off of it, kicking the chairs backwards. You are all thrown to the floor as the entire floor gets up and moves. You watch as one of the walls opens as a huge toothy maw, and you can see on the other side of it the outside. And the whole room kind of writhes and things and basically spits all of you out onto the ground. As you get out, you feel the compulsion to continue eating the soup leave you. There's also no more soup left.
Oh, I couldn't get a doggy bag. Yeah.
As you look back, the entire house itself is writhing and starts to rise up. You see it pulling against the ground. You watch one side yank itself up, another side you see legs sprout out of it. A single massive eye grows at the tallest part of this house, and the middle of the house splits to make this giant 200 foot toothy maw of an abyss. It screams into the night and walks away into the distance.
Is Broken Jaw guy still there on the ground?
He is. He seems to be barely breathing. And
I'll just
that is where we are going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any part of this, I do upload all of these to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TrainerJody. Check it out over there. Yeah, otherwise, that is all for me today, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.